Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So we're beginning chapter 18 today, and it is the longest chapter of the Gita. It is the synopsis of the chapter. People say that chapter 2 is also a synopsis of the chapter in the beginning, but I don't understand how exactly. But chapter 18 is apparently also a synopsis of the chapter, summary of the entire Gita, where he explains everything. Anyways, let's go down this road and let's complete this. Let's complete our Gita studies. Um, Okay, so let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand your words. Please help us understand everything. I'm desperate to understand. Please help us. Please help me understand. Please help us understand whatever we're studying right now, whatever we're studying outside of this, whatever we're studying everywhere. Please help us understand your words. Please help us understand how to come to you. And please give us knowledge, give us bhakti, but not knowledge that covers anyabhilashita shunyam jnanam karmadinavritam. I have referred to this often. In case you don't know, this is from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami, and this is the definition of bhakti. This is the core definition of bhakti, that we want bhakti not covered by knowledge or karma. We want bhakti, we want knowledge, but we want the knowledge to be there to support us in our bhakti so that we can come closer to you. Please help us. Okay, let us sing the verse together. Sannyasasya mahabaho tat त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुं त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथग् पृथक् केशिनिषूदन. Okay. So here Arjun is asking Bhagwan now. He's asking the difference between sannyas and tyag. So this is, I hadn't until just now when I was reading up for this video, I had not heard or known that there was a difference. And this is very good to know. Sannyas means sannyas of actions, renunciation of actions. What actions are we giving up? And tyag is renunciation of desire for the results of the actions. So what results are we giving up? Like we're still acting. So tyag means we're still acting, we're doing our duty, we're doing our karma, but without the desire for the results of the or without the desire for the fruits. So sannyas means we're renouncing the actions. But anyways, Arjun is asking, so we will get to know what Bhagwan Shri Krishna says about that. So he talks about actions in great detail. So I've been memorizing verses with a friend, and we memorized 18:14 recently. Adhishthanam tatha karta. So this is like 5 places of action. Action stems from 5 places, and the 5th place is Daivam, which is supreme, which is God, Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So action itself, so the results, of course, karmanyavadikaraste 2.47 talks about that you have an adhikar to your karma, but you do not have, and you're not the cause of your karma, and you do not have an adhikar to akarm, which is not working, but you are not the cause of your results. Now he's not talking about results in this 18:14. He's talking about like what are the 5 places of action, and even in that God is one of them. Of course, God is the one who's helping us. So now basically this is all leading up to that, I suppose. I mean, the whole thing is leading up to everything, so I'm not, I don't even know what to say. I retract that sentence. But yes, this makes sense that he's asking what is renunciation, what is tyag, and then later on he's going to talk about action and what is the right action to do. So this question that I've had for about 2.47, this is going to get answered. Like, how is it that we're not acting? I've asked this question to about 6-7 people, and I've not yet had a real conversation, real discussion with someone who has been able to answer this. And I think this chapter 18 is going to help. Ki, what is the right action and how do we see that? Like, if I'm raising my hand, then I'm raising my hand. I choose to have this action, and of course God is giving me the ability to raise my hand. I understand that, but it is still my free will that is raising my hand. So am I not the cause of it? I mean, am I not one of the causes for it? And Krishna Bhagwan gives me the ability to, so he's another cause of it, and he gives me the facility and ability and time. I think FAT was this acronym for that. So anyways, so this it's very, very confusing, this whole thing, but there is one person who has said let's have an in-person discussion about it, and I'm waiting for that. That'll be great. Once I figure that out, I will of course share that with you. So okay, so there are two things here that are important. I mean, two words. Rishikesha is master of senses, because Arjun wants to control his senses, so he's calling him Rishikesha. And then he's also calling him Keshi Nishudana, killer of the Keshi demon, which is basically killer of, so doubt is the biggest demon that we have. So he's like, please dispel my doubt. So that is the thing. And then he refers to how this is a summary. This 18th chapter is a summary of everything that he's talked about. And in first, all of it, he's talked about devotional service. So in the first 6 chapters, he spoke about devotional service in 6 point something, 6.47 or something. I found out this verse, what this verse is, and I think it's 6.47. Actually, let me just check. 6.47. And then the middle 6 chapters, of course, were all about devotional service. And then the last 6 chapters also, he's mentioned bhakti, 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 bhakti in like a million places, which I absolutely love, because he's making it super clear that it is bhakti, it is devotional service that is the best way to get to him, and the highest paramupai. Okay, so and then he talked about Om Tat Sat in the end of 17th chapter. So yes, distinct matters, Tyag and Sannyas, he wants to know the difference, and he talks about the distinction of the, and he also talks about the distinction of the Rishikesh and, the Keshi, Nishudan and Rishikesh. And yeah, okay. So he's talked about sannyas in verses 513 and 928. 928, I know that one. It is Shubha Shubha Falairevam Moksha Se Karma Bandhanai. So when you give up the results, so basically the previous verse 927 is saying Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi, whatever you're eating, whatever you're doing, whatever you're giving, whatever you're sacrificing, offering, Yajjuhoshi, whatever you're doing, do it as an offering to me. Tad Kurushva Madarpanam. 928 is saying in that case, then you will be free from karma bandhan, which is the bandhan, like the results of the karma that you're doing, and the shubh and ashubh, the good and the bad phal results. You'll be freed from all of that. You'll be freed from good results as well as good karma as well as bad karma. So he says that in 928. So I'm not quite sure how that means. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma, right? The third line is sannyas. So when you are in this sannyas mode, renunciation mode, then vimukto mamupashis. Then you'll be free and you'll come to me. And then tyag in verses 420 and 1211. So this is really amazing. I've learned about 22, 23 verses, but it's helping me because these important verses that I've learned are helping me, because now I know, I'm like, oh, I know what 928 is. Let me see what he's talking about and how it's related to sannyas. So, and I mean, I didn't think of it as related to sannyas, even though he says sannyasa yoga yuktatma, but that to me meant like just be in the mode of renunciation of the actions that you're doing, whatever you're doing, whatever you're eating, whatever whatever in the previous verse, you do it as an offering to me. So I was like, but yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's what sannyas is. So it deepens my understanding. I will highly recommend, if you can, memorize the verses with meaning. Otherwise, it's useless. If you're just memorizing the verses without understanding them, without doing word by word meaning, it's useless. I mean, it's not useless, but it's just it adds a million times more value. So now in my day-to-day life also, because these verses are, and I'm revising them with her, like all the time I'm revising them with her, so that they're actually getting to be a part of me, part of my DNA, part of my cell structure, so that day to day, whenever I'm talking or whenever I'm doing things, there are times when I can think of these verses. And like, can you imagine going through your day and then just suddenly being able to fall back on a Gita verse because it directly is impacting or affecting or helping in your day to day activities? It's incredible. It's really incredible. So yeah, if you can start to memorize verses with word by word meaning, which Prabhupada has given very kindly, then yeah, then do that, because it is a game changer. It is an absolute game changer. And right now I only know these 22, 23 verses, but as I learn more, as I'm listening to lectures now, when people are referring to verses, then I'm able to understand those verses and I'm able to understand what they're talking about. So my understanding of those verses is deepening, and my understanding of the lecture is deepening. Like both aspects, the understanding of the verse itself is deepening, and understanding of the lecture itself, the content of what the person is trying to say, even though the verse was just referred to, I'm understanding the lecture deeply. So it's really, really helping, and it's helping me deepen my understanding, so that the understanding is no longer so much at a I mean, it is at a superficial level right now, but it is getting deeper. I mean, it's not only staying, not no longer at a super, of course it is at a super, but it is no longer staying at a superficial level. It is starting to deepen. Like there's little roots that are coming up there from from this big superficial level thing. There's these tiny little roots that are starting to pop, where like, okay, I'm seeing that, and that part of the thing is because I'm doing this. And the other thing that I've been listening to, that I will highly recommend that you all listen to, is, I've mentioned this before, is Upadeshamrit of Hari Parshad Prabhu. Oh my goodness, there are some 60 videos of it. Each one is around 1.5, 2 hours long, and I'm just on the first, like I've done the intro, which was 2.5 hours long, and now I'm doing the first part. Wow, there are 11 verses in Nectar of Instruction, which is the Upadeshamrit written by Srila Rupa Goswami. And he is going through every word. He is explaining it so well. He's like, this word has 4 meanings, and let's see which meaning he could possibly mean in this verse. Could he mean this meaning? No. Could he mean this meaning? No. Could he mean this meaning? No. This is the only meaning he could mean. And then he will go to the next verse, and again, this word has this many meanings and these many references, and this person has referred to, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has referred to this word to mean this, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has referred to the word Vega Uvacha Vega something to mean this. And like, oh my goodness, the explanation is so thorough. Like, I can't wait to get through all of them. I'm like jumping out of my skin as I'm listening to that, because it's just, I don't know, not everything resonates with everyone, but this one so resonates with me. My goodness, I am dying as I'm listening to it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm so lucky to be able to have found this even in the first place. So it's insanely good. It's insanely good. If you want to do detailed study, then, and if you want to deepen those roots, right? Those roots that are right now just like everything is at a superficial level, and this is like tiny little roots. But then as you just start to go slightly deeper in them, then it's like, okay, wow. There is, yeah, it just takes you to a whole new level. It's amazing. Okay, so let's see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Next. Bhakti is the supreme auspicious result of all activities, as clearly stated in the first 6 chapters. The nature of Nirgun Bhakti was described in the second 6 chapters. By deliberating on knowledge, renunciation, and discriminating between what should be done and what should not be done, and what is under the modes and what is beyond the modes, Bhakti has been specified as the ultimate result in the third 6 chapters. In this way, the deep significance of Gita Shastra has been revealed by the previous Mahajanas. All the teachings that have been spoken so far conclude up to the 17th chapter. Upon hearing them, Arjun Mahashaya, desiring to hear a concise summary of all these principles, asked, O Rishikesh, O Keshi Nishudana, I wish to hear what is the difference in meaning of the words sannyas and tyag. Okay. So yeah, that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 18 verse 2 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots of depth, lots of in lots of insatiable desire. I think Himangi Mataji used to say that eagerness and desire, eagerness and sincerity are the two things that you really need to have on your path to bhakti. So yeah, just have this eager desire, intense eager desire to attain bhakti, and I wish you that, to just deepen from wherever you are, just deepen. Wish you a beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.